What's up everyone? Welcome back to Appletree Surfboards, and today we're going to introduce to you the new Apple Skipper Midlength by Appletree Surfboards. So at Appletree Surfboards, we've been on the forefront of like the mid-length style of design of board for quite a long time. Our Slice V3 that we still sell now was already like a really narrow board compared to the boards that were in the market back then. Then last year we launched the Skipper Downwind Prone board, which was really aimed at the proning side of a longer, narrower, skinnier shape, drawing inspiration from the downwind shapes and then putting them in a prone board to give you super efficient paddling. What we didn't really realize back then was how many people were going to ride this type of board for winging as well. And then on top of that, this year or last year specifically, the new parawing thing came in, and that's just something that's really, revolutionized, basically a new sport within our kind of field. So we really felt that we needed to make a board specifically for those kind of conditions, those type of riders, really narrow, really skinny, super efficient, not necessarily the easiest board to ride, but super high efficiency, really easy to get on foil, that kind of stuff. So that's what we got now. Skipper Midlength is here. So like I said, it's basically the older Skipper Downwind Prone boards that we did, scaled up to the biggest size is 97 liters. So the Skipper Downwind Prone boards, they were 37 till 54, and these new boards are available still 37, so it's essentially the same board with some design tweak and updates. And then it goes 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, 97. Well, there you go. That's easy enough to remember for all of us. So it's the only board in our range that ends on a 7. So anytime you hear us talk about a 57, a 67, 77, you know we're talking about the Apple Skipper Midlength boards here, which is easy for everyone. And who are they for? Still for prone in the smaller sizes, really good prone boards. Then moving up in the range, they'll super good boards for wingers that want a sinker board, want something efficient and quick to the water surface, and just all round high-end experienced wing board. Then going slightly bigger, they're really good for parawinging for lighter riders, winging for sort of intermediate kind of riders, and then all the way to the biggest sizes when you go close to your body weight, 87, 97 liters. The boards are really good for sort of light wind winging, almost where you would before have to grab a downwind board. You can now grab one of these. They're not as long, not as bulky, but still have that efficiency. And then starting to parawing. So if you want to start the parawing, it's kind of nice to have something that floats your weight. So you have a board sort of close or slightly over your body weight. Again, these boards are not designed for the beginner or like low intermediate kind of rider. Definitely advise those people to get on one of our other board models, specifically the Slice V3. It's a wider, even though it's a narrow board for a wingboard, it's a wider, more stable, flatter bottom shape. So it's much easier to improve on and learn on. While these boards are mainly for riders that are already experienced wingers and just want something ultra efficient and super high performance. Let's go through the shape a little bit. So as you can see, it's a really narrow profile. This one I've got here is a 67, so it's a bit of the all-round kind of size. Be really good for my type of weight in strong enough winds. So I'm talking like 18 knots plus. I'm 95 kilos, so for me this is a pure sinker board, but with those kind of winds I can easily ride that shape. As you can see, especially compared to the other boards we've really pulled forward this hard rail and really refined this hard rail. Then here at the front, you'll see the board has a displacement hull, a bit from our earlier Skipper models and also the profiles that we do. The point of having this displacement hull is just to direct the water upon touchdown and on getting going, direct the water to the sides where it will encounter this hard edge, and the hard edge is really good for release of water. So instead of the water being pulled up the rail, it releases. So when you touch down or when you get going, the water spreads and releases. So the board has an amazing release, the best of any of the Skipper line boards that we've done so far. Now this pulled in rail moves all the way to the back, and it's hard all the way to here. In the middle section, it's flatter, but it still has this bevel here. So it continues with the bevel to the hard edge to release that water. Then here in the tail, it basically splits the rocker line. So the board's got quite a lot more rocker than our earlier boards. So behind the foil boxes, there's quite a lot of rocker in the board. This is so you can turn tighter in the waves and you can pump more efficient without hitting the tail on the water. And again, the rail rocker and the centerline rocker of the boards basically split, where the rail rocker is much more intense and the centerline rocker is straighter. This makes sure the board sort of tracks at slow speed, and then when it releases and you pump, the water gets shed to the two rail rockers and it releases really well off the sides. In general, board is really nice and narrow, super efficient through the water at low speed, so it's much easier to get up to speed when you're trying to foil. Really big traction pads, a lot of standing area, close to the rail as well, so there's a lot of protection. And then as you can see, the strap inserts are pretty far forward. The foil box is also pretty far forward. So you're riding this longer, narrower board that gives you the efficiency, but once you're up and you're riding, you're standing here. So you're essentially riding, it feels like you're riding a much shorter board because that extra foot of length is behind your back foot. This balances out the swing weight quite a bit, and it really feels like a much narrower board. But you do need that rocker line because it's, don't feel it's there, it's still there, so you got to be careful that this doesn't hit the wave surface. So yeah, that's why we increase the rocker as well. There is a little kicktail on the pad. It's kind of nice for when you're sinking the board to have something to push your toes against. New strap inserts. So these have holes every centimeter or like ½ inch. So there's plenty of options for positioning your foot. The front comes as a Y, as standard, because these boards are a little too narrow to accommodate the whole wide setup that we have on the other boards. So this is just a Y setup in the front. Take that into account when you're ordering your straps. You want to have the Y strap plus the single strap if you're ordering or planning to ride this board with straps. Although I think most people will ride this type of board strapless because it's more of a board where you move a little more. It's more for like wave riding, and you want to position yourself a little different when you're doing turns compared to when you're doing like tacking up wind. So I would advise riding it without straps, but it comes with strap inserts, so it's definitely an option. What else? So the board is standard now is the wing construction, and the wing construction means that it's a little stronger and heavier on the carbon side than our prone construction that the Skipper Downwind Prone came in. From the smallest to the biggest sizes, they all come with the inserts and with the wing construction, and also with the handle, which I know it doesn't necessarily make sense because you can put your hand around it. It does really help carrying the board also with the foil attached. Yeah, so that's about it. New Apple Skipper Midlength available now from our website, and from all our dealers should have stock from now on. So they're everywhere. Try one, get your hands on one, and let me know how they feel. I'm very keen for your feedback. Thanks so much. Hope to see you next time.